If you've wondered where branding and relationship-based business intersect with real estate and home buyers, I've got a special guest for you today. Hello, everybody. I'm Nate Carver, your favorite mortgage guy on Between Two Doors, and today we are talking to Kyle Draper, the mind behind the Rethink Everything series.
Hey, I'm Nate Carver, and welcome to Between Two Doors.
Hey, it is good to see you.
Nate, I'm honored to be here, man. We've been talking about me coming on your podcast before you even started it, and
Yeah,
so I'm honored that we finally made this happen.
I am too. This is we've been going for like just over 2 years now.
Yeah,
And little background, you and I met through a mutual friend at a steak dinner
that's right.
in Fort Worth, Texas, and we got tomahawk steaks,
Yes, we did.
and we took we took the bones back to the dog. So these two
We
guys
did. We sure did,
walking around downtown Fort Worth with these huge,
man.
huge
And
ribs.
I tend to stay friends with people that I share steaks with.
Yes, yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you're such a cool guy to meet, and happy your story. I love your story. Your life journey is fantastic. If you want to go in, we can tell a little bit about that if you want,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
bring everybody up to speed where you are today and how you got there.
Yeah, it's real easy for those that don't know me. I was a pastor for 10 years. And I felt like God told me to go be a pastor to the business world. And so for now, the last 13 years, I have been a serial entrepreneur and I've started multiple companies, some of which have failed miserably and lost tons of money. And thank God that lately they're going well and things are growing. And man, we're having a great time. And it's taken me into the real estate world, into the mortgage space. And man, I'm sure we'll get into even more of that as we jump into this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a little over 2 months ago, you were a speaker at Mortgage Con in Orlando, and got to see you there. And yeah, you did great. You did a
Thank you.
fantastic presentation. It's one of the top two that I walked away from. And I was like, I'm glad I got to see you again.
Well, and I
So
think there were only three, so there are only three speakers. So top two is not that great.
yeah. So when did you? I'm curious how you got into the Rethink Everything. The
Yeah,
first book is the Purple Book.
yeah,
Um, this one right here, this is the one I latched on to. This is Rethink
yep.
Everything You Know About Social Media.
That's it.
And then you've written others or co-authored or
Yeah,
in the real estate space, in the mortgage lending space, in the home brew space. This is I think that's the most recent one.
all of it. All,
Yeah.
Nate, it's wild. We actually just celebrated the 3 year anniversary of the Purple Book, which was the first book. Back then, I didn't know it was going to be the first book. I just thought I was writing a book. I speak a lot, and for years, that was what brought me my income. And so I thought, man, I bet if I could write a book, it would help me get more speaking opportunities. It would make people think I'm smart, And so I just wrote a book, and I called it Rethink Everything You Know About Social Media. And as people started hearing about it, everybody's feedback was like, man, I love the title. Rethink everything. Like, it's just such a
Mhm.
good kind of motto to live life by.
Mhm.
And so I'm not smart enough to catch on to things without being like beat over the head with it. And so I was actually on a podcast, and after the podcast was over, the host of that podcast was like, "Man, what's your vision for Rethink Everything?" and I hadn't really thought about it from a place of it required a vision. I just thought it was
Hmm.
a book. And so we kind of started talking out loud, and I thought, man, why couldn't this be the new age book for dummies? And why couldn't we tackle topics from a place of positivity and encouragement instead of calling you people dummies? And man, we've looked up now, and we released our 13th book a couple weeks ago. We've got our 14th and 15th book coming out in the next 10 days. And man, we're starting to bridge the gap, get out of the mortgage space. We just wrote a book about craft beer, which is super cool, and the cover looks like it's a beer mug with froth on the top of it. And um we've launched the Rethink Everything podcast. And so this thing is truly taking on a life of its own. And we're doing some cool stuff.
I love it. A lot of realtors will find this. I kind of want to let's kind of bring that into the realtor space.
Yeah,
Video marketing, getting out in front of people through video marketing, what that, you know, it's maybe for a lot of people, it's not their natural
right.
go-to. Everybody talks about it and then they don't do anything. I
Yeah,
forced myself to get into the podcasting space, and I love it. It's not my natural state, but it is
sure.
fun. And so I'm constantly learning. So the book that I latched on to helps me in creating, I guess, the consistency, and then the how to, and really just the mindset. No matter what, I'm going to publish something. I'm going to get
Yeah.
out some sort of content, and some of it's home run, some of it falls flat. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know that I've ever had a home run, but I know that it works even though I'm not
yeah,
hitting home runs.
yeah. It's as a lender, most of my leads come from realtors directly.
Yeah.
But getting into that space on social media platforms, and putting out content, as a lender, it is bringing me buyers directly
Yeah.
that aren't connected to a realtor in a lot of cases. And so that gives me an opportunity to start introducing buyers to realtors in
Absolutely.
markets. And I talk to a lot of realtors. So I'm like, let me pair you up with someone that fits you and your goals in the
Right.
location and knows that area. I can attribute that directly to what I have learned out of your purple book. So,
Man, that's awesome.
um, what are you seeing with realtors that has been powerful or transformational in their business?
Well, I think it's leaning into what you just said. With how fast AI goes now, and it's only going to get faster, and it's
Hmm.
getting harder and harder to spot the fake video. And so what I'm seeing now more than ever is it's getting harder to trust people because there's just
Yep.
so much noise out there. And I love telling this scenario. In the traditional process for realtors and lenders, right? The process is made up of phone calls, emails, and text messages.
Right.
Nobody's excited about those. I don't open my inbox and be like, "Yes, 14 new emails to go through. Woo!" Like that's not the way the world works. And so I years ago was like, "Man, how do I send messages to people that are going to be something they look forward to?" And as I started sending video, the feedback was like, "Man, I love that video. It was so cool to get a video." And then if like one of my kids happens to like jump into the shot, then somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, she's so adorable." Right? And so you start understanding this, Nate, and I started going, I am building trust and rapport with people
Yeah.
just by getting in front of the camera. Because
Yeah.
now that you can see me, hear me, feel me, experience me, the trust is built faster. But then also, here's a big thing that for those of you listening and watching this, don't miss this. our background says words that our words never will. And so the other thing I love about video is right now in your background, you've got an American flag folded up over your shoulder. You've got a cool sailboat. And so you're giving people opportunities to go, man, what's that? What's that flag about? And then
Right.
boom, now you get to go in and tell a story, right? And so this morning I was on a walk and I was doing videos while I'm out walking. It evokes emotion in people when we allow our background to tell people things about ourselves that they may have otherwise not already known. And,
Yeah.
and it's just so powerful. And in the real estate space, because there's so much cold calling taking place, there's so many big box companies that are just burning and churning through numbers. Your people are being sold to every day by somebody.
Yeah.
And so if you can't figure out how to stay top of mind to them, you're going to struggle and you're going to keep hearing stories of like, what? My neighbor just did what? I would have thought I would have got that job. But you're not top of mind. And so video, like what we're doing right now, and it allows you to touch all the senses so that you
Yeah.
can build trust to such a level that no one would ever consider using anyone else.
Right.
And that's what I'm seeing right this second is the biggest differentiator. If they're willing to step through the discomfort to do it.
Right. And a lot of stuff, like I just did a recording this morning out in the garden. So I do this big garden every year, eat a lot of it, can a lot of it, give a whole lot of it away.
Yeah,
It has nothing to do with lending. I mean, I could tie it, I could tell a story, I could weave a story into lending and real estate on that garden, delayed gratification, a
yep,
process, all that. But I just get out there and a little garden update, just talk about the garden. And I think realtors, myself included as a loan officer, talking about the things that are not industry specific or connected,
yeah,
uh, creates a touch point. That's how
yep,
I see it. And this business is relational. I don't care. I love the AI. I lean into the AI, but your relationships is going to be a key piece that an AI can't replace
right.
or call center. And those are wins. So anyway, I did a little garden update this morning, and that's
I
out
love
there.
it.
Yeah, and as I think about my realtor partners and the things that they can do. Yeah, do a market update, do your neighborhood highlights, community events, spotlight, the Easter events coming up as we're recording this. But then, if you love fishing, if you love
Right.
Harley Davidson, if whatever those little nuances that are normal in your everyday life
That's right.
will resonate with somebody.
Well,
And
Nate, let me tell you this story. So last year I was playing golf and I had retired from golf for over a decade. So most people didn't even know that I like golf. So I just recently had picked golf back up and so I was out golfing. I got an email from a mortgage company that wanted to hire me to speak at their sales rally. And so right there from the golf cart between shots, I recorded a video and was like, "Hey, thanks so much for reaching out. I'd love to speak at your event. I'll connect you to my team." Right? And there's so many people that would have been like, "That's so unprofessional. You don't want people to know that you're not working." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm literally working in the golf cart right now. I'm
Mhm.
sending them this video." And so Nate, what happened is I sent them that video. They paid me the most I've ever been paid to speak in my life. And while I was at their event in Missouri, guess what they did? They took me to play golf. Why? Because I was playing golf in the background of the video I sent them. I didn't
Yeah,
send them like a one-page document that's like, one of my requirements is that y'all take me to play golf while I'm there. It was in the background of my video. And so not only did I make the most money I've ever made speaking for 50 minutes, but I also got to play golf for free. And that is the power of what we're talking about. That's the garden video. That's why you can do a video about anything. You can be in any environment and it can and will create business opportunity whether you're talking about business or not.
Hmm.
It's so powerful.
Wow. Yeah, I got a realtor that his branding is Harleys. And
Yeah,
he rides up to closing on a Harley. And
love it.
I do. I just think, dude, you don't we're gonna highlight that, and I just know he's gonna have a line of Harley owners looking to buy or sell a home with him on
100%.
that one point. And
Yep.
he does a lot of other things too, but that's his big. That is him, and he's
And
authentic. It's
it
authentically him. So,
we also, Nate, we love to overcomplicate like how many people we need to know.
hmm.
And so the for somebody watching or listening, it would be so easy for them to go, "Yeah, but like what if you don't like Harleys?" Right? We go to the negative first.
Hmm.
I don't like Harleys. I'm afraid of motorcycles. Right? Like that dude's not his Harley videos aren't going to connect to me. Who cares? Because in the real estate world, if your goal is to sell 40 houses, what do you need 3,000 people to agree with your videos for? You just need the right people.
Yeah,
And so we've got to remind ourselves that we don't need to be creating vanilla content that feels like it will connect the most broad.
yeah,
We need to be doing things that are true differentiators, like you having a garden. That's not normal. That's not what the average person is talking about. And so it
right.
truly gives you a sticking point with people, just like the Harleys do, just like me golfing does. Man, we've got to expose people to other aspects of our lives beyond just buying or selling houses because that doesn't happen but every 3 to 5 years.
Yeah,
But the garden and the Harley and the golf happen every week. And so that's how we've got to stay top of mind to people.
yeah. And I find, especially with AI, you have my chat. I got my chat set up. I can ask it anything about real estate lending, and it's going to give me the correct answer. So, being a dictionary or being an encyclopedia
Yeah,
resource is I'm finding that less and less borrowers, savvy borrowers, realtors, they can get that information. But what they can't get is my random fact out in the garden of or the fact that I
that's
love
right.
sailing. I can talk about that.
Yep,
And those touch points are personal, um, and I'm seeing that less and less. Hey Nate, what's the minimum down payment for an FHA, for example, or
right.
commit? Less and less of those kinds of questions. I'm seeing more and more of, hey, wife and I just got back from our cruise. We're ready to buy a house. Great. Tell me about the cruise. I want to know about that. The other
Right.
stuff, it plays into it. It will get to the mortgage, but the connection to their life is so important, and that's where what you do and what you're coaching with realtors and loan officers is just a home run for the ones that lean in and do it. And it's so quick. That video took maybe a minute.
Right. Well, and
Scott
Nate, what
through it.
what what most people are missing is did you need to ask about their cruise for that transaction to happen? No. Right? They called you about buying a home. You didn't have to ask about that. That probably didn't change anything with them buying a house. But what
Hmm.
it did is it further solidifies you as a representative in their life
Yeah.
so that in the 3 to 5 years between now and when they buy another one, they're going to want to refer you. They want to see you win because they value you beyond just a guy that has access to money to help them get what they want. And so this is what people miss is we're playing chess while
Hmm.
everybody else is playing checkers. Right? Checkers is like, "Oh, just jump that piece. That's the buy." But no, we're going, no, 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 no. We're making multiple moves to position myself to win down the road. And dude, this is it. My greatest referral partners have never been my clients. They're people that love me, love my family, love seeing my kids, champion my life,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to see me win. And if we don't tap into the human side of this, you're gonna always be busting your butt looking for new strangers to trust you
Mm-hmm.
because you're not really doing anything with all the people that you already know.
So you've seen the shift in how home buyers are picking their realtors. You've seen that front in from the time you published your book, even.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the advantage to the realtor if the home buyer they feel like they already know their agent, especially social media. It's been around for a while, but leaning into the video content.
Dude, the advantage is you don't have to sell. All right. I had a sales call. The reason I got on here early is I had a
Hmm.
sales call scheduled for 11. My sales call was over by 11:12 because he was already in. You know why he was already in? Because he came to me by way of referral to a buddy of mine. I sent a video to him the moment we got connected. And so by the time he and I actually got on the phone, he already had received a video from me. He'd already been talked up about me by our mutual friend. And so it was over. I didn't have to convince him of anything. And that's the beauty of when we do this right relationally. You don't have to convince someone that you're the right realtor. You only have to figure out when's the right day to start.
Hmm.
And that's a massive difference in the way we have conversations than when I'm nervous going, oh, I hope they pick me. I hope I can convince them that I'm good enough. And now, what did I just say? Me, my. I made it all about me.
Yeah.
But when we make it about them, it makes their decision to choose us easy. And man, that's the superpower when you do this the right way.
Nice. I'm going to pivot a little bit. You've added, I think it's new. It was new to me. The higher culture of virtual assistants.
Yeah.
I want to dive into that a little bit for realtors and what you're doing for them to help them stay in front of
Yeah.
their database because
Yep.
they know a lot of people and helping them manage what that assistant does for them.
Yeah. Nate, 6 years ago, I hired my first virtual assistant, scared to death, had no clue what I was doing. I just assumed they were going to steal all my information and take money out of my bank account without me knowing. And it was the opposite of that. And um, used VAs to scale multiple businesses, decided to pivot to offer VAs to other people 2 years ago. And dude, what a game changer it is because no one's good at everything. And most realtors that I know, they're really just good salespeople, right?
Hmm.
They're good relationship people. They're not good systems people. They're not good
Right.
process people, right? They just like people. And so, very quickly, you hit this threshold in the real estate space where it's like, I don't want another deal because the headache that it creates for me with the paperwork and the processes, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. Right? Or you have the realtor that they love the deal, but they don't love the marketing. And so they don't want to spend time in Canva creating graphics. They don't want to
Yep.
spend time in a CRM building it out to consistently communicate to people because that's not what they like. Well, the beauty of the VA is if you know where you're inefficient, if I understand my weakness, I can go higher for the weakness.
Yep. Me
And
too.
so I have assistants that they live in my inbox because I'm not organized. I'm disorganized. I'm not a detail guy. I'm a big picture guy. And so I have now all these people around me that they fill the holes that I have so that we're a super team. And because these men and women are overseas, they're being paid unbelievably well for where they live, but it's incredibly cheap labor for where we live.
Right.
And so to me, it's still the best way to scale a business that most people still don't know about.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I can press record and you and I can have a conversation. I can't tell you anything about Canva or the setup or what it takes on the back end for a podcast. Don't know. I
Right.
write that check. I got an expert
That's right.
and they run with it and it's
Yeah.
done. I don't have to, and that frees me to do the things that I'm good at and great at in that column. And then I have this other column, things I'm awful at, things I definitely not in my skill set,
Right.
or that I'm just not wired for. And I've found people through virtual assistants that that's what they love doing.
That's right.
They would not be a good salesperson. So I
Right.
don't ask them to do sales.
Yeah.
And
I
so,
mean, Nate, I'm running three companies right now.
oh my
And
goodness.
so in any one day, I could have calls that represent
Yeah.
all three companies. On Monday, I think I had like 14 appointments on Monday. And I'd have a talking to with my assistant of like, dude, you got to protect my calendar a little bit better because I can't be doing that. That's too much. But the beauty of it is I have all these meetings on Zoom.
Hmm.
Zoom sends AI notes from the meeting to my inbox. And then my assistant jumps into those AI notes, knows exactly what was talked about, knows exactly what I told them I would send them next. And so I get to keep doing what I do well, which is talk to people. And then because of technology and then my assistant, he's in the background pulling all these levers, sending all these files, creating agreements and payment links, and I don't have to touch it. And it's incredible. I couldn't imagine my life without it. I would hate
Yeah.
sales if I had to do all that on my own.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You get to focus on the things you're gifted at.
That's right.
That makes it, that's where the job doesn't feel like a job.
Right.
It's it's a lifestyle or it's calling.
Yeah.
Um, that's
100%.
how I see it. Tactically, let's say a realtor's listing and what would they do like marketing wise to improve their marketing the next 30 days? If there was like do
Ah,
immediately.
Nate, so in one of my companies, we just did an AI summit yesterday. And my business partner is a mortgage broker up in Seattle.
Hmm.
And he records all of his intake calls. So if he's meeting with a potential buyer, he's recording everything. He then is able to have his assistant take that transcript, throw it into AI, get AI to pull quotes from it, to pull stories from it, and then jump into Canva and create graphics, create carousels, right? All from exactly what he said during an intake call. And so for the realtor that's like, I just don't have time to do marketing. You don't have to have time. You're already doing it on your calls with buyers and sellers. And so if you were just recording those, man, you're going to have video clips. You're going to have quotes that are going to look awesome on the internet that you're never going to run out of. And you never had to lift a finger to do anything outside of what you normally do, other than maybe change the mechanism that you communicate through to make sure you can record it.
Yeah. I
But
did
but even if we're on the phone, I've got a device called Applaud that can clip on my shirt, or it's like a business card and I just set it on the table. And so even if I'm on the phone, I can record my side of the conversation, and it's just unbelievable. I mean, I can have 10 to 12 blogs written through
mhm.
AI from every sales call I do. That's what I would be doing.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I did I had a call with a buyer, first time home buyer. She's paying rent about 2,600 a month, and I took that whole conversation. I said, "Well, what can you buy with $2,600 and have the same monthly payment in McKinney, Texas? Taxes, insurance, the whole nine yards. $330,000 home is what she would qualify for." Well, anyway,
Yeah.
all I did was I just that conversation. I pasted it into chat, and I said, "Create a graphic," and
Yep.
it created this really cool little graphic of a girl buying her first home, and it had principal, interest, taxes, $2,600. I went from renting for 26 to owning, and I'll put that on social media. Um, I got a lot of response from just that one little.
Isn't it
It, it,
incredible?
it was incredible, and so I was like, "Oh, we got to do that on everything." Which,
Well, and so then think about this. So I'm using a new app now called Gamma, and the website's gamma.app. It's an AI slideshow presentation builder. And so imagine if you recorded the call that you recorded, you created the social graphic that it helped you create, but then you took that whole transcript, you fed it into Gamma, and you said, "Hey, format this on a slideshow that I can send to that potential buyer as a follow up." And now you have an 8 to 10 slideshow that you can walk them through or let them look through on their own, and it makes you look like $1 million. But
yeah,
it took 3 minutes for that thing to build inside of the AI.
yeah,
It's
absolutely
unbelievable.
reinforces that conversation with the visual. That's wonderful. Gamma, thank you. I'm gonna look that
Yeah,
one.
go get it.
Um, wow. What's something a real estate agent should be creating right now?
Man, so the biggest downfall that I'm seeing that unfortunately realtors and lenders won't feel until it's too late is they're trying to automate everything.
Hmm.
And so what we're watching is as all these big mergers are happening, right? Like we just saw like a massive, mortgage company buy Redfin, right? And so we're seeing these mergers happen. We're seeing these massive companies with billions of dollars. Well, guess what? All of those companies are going to have better tech than me. They're
Yeah,
going to have better, SOPs than me. They're Everything is going to be better than I can do it, except the fact that they can't be a human being.
yep,
And so what I would say that realtors need to really be focused on right now is not to automate the authenticity out of the transaction. Because the moment you do that, why wouldn't they just go to Rocket Mortgage? Right? Like because if everything's automated all over the place, why not go to the automation that has the most money behind it?
hmm,
The reason people don't want to go to Rocket is because they want a human being. They want a Nate Carver that is going to be able to get on Zoom with them, answer their questions, be their guide. And that can't happen if we're constantly trying to automate everything. So do not automate what was meant to stay relational.
yeah,
And I think that is really like the North Star for everybody in our industry right now is we're not pooping on automation. We want it, but not at the expense of relationship because
right,
that will always be the differentiator as AI continues to get better and better, right? The real person is going to ultimately be the best opportunity for somebody to win. And so we've got to show up for people in that light.
yep. Tell me, favorite, is there a social media platform that realtors should prioritize? This is a trick question, but
Yeah, I mean I mean, yes, there is an answer, but I don't think it's an answer from me. I think everybody watching, listening this has a favorite platform, even
yeah,
if it's just their favorite for consuming, right? They may not post it a lot, but they're consuming it. My advice is pick a platform that you can begin to get consistent with, and then whenever you create content for that platform, put it everywhere else. I don't spend time making unique content like what how should I write this copy for Facebook? And then how
Mm-hmm.
should that copy be different for Instagram? And then should I also then like make a video separate just for TikTok? It it's just so much. Nobody has time for that. And so pick a platform, begin to create for that platform, and then just start throwing that content everywhere else. And it's unbelievable what you will see happen if you don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed early because you're trying to do all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do all of it. If Facebook's your jam, start there. You're not old. Facebook's still relevant, or you might be old. Guess what? Facebook's still relevant.
It is.
It still works. The AI summit that we just hosted yesterday, most of our signups came from Facebook, not anywhere else. And so lean into one, and I think you'll be glad that you did.
Good. I agree. Tell me outside of what's a little personal reflection outside of the business and outside of marketing. What's something that shaped your life for today?
Oh man, I mean I think right now the season I'm in, I've got three kids, 13, 11, and 2. And so I am learning from them every single day. They keep me on my toes. They keep me humble when I want to brag about something, and and they're quick to be like, "Yeah, but you're not famous, Dad." And so I love the humility that they continue to beat me down to acquire. Um, but man, life's just so much fun, like seeing it through kids' eyes
Yeah.
and realizing like how quick we are to take things too seriously as adults. It's not a big deal. It's a singular moment, and so I love, learning the bounce back when you can watch a kid like have such a sad moment and then 5 minutes later they're like, what? There's a cartoon on? And it's like the sad moment didn't even exist. And
Uh-huh.
so, man, I think that's what I'm learning right now is the art of the bounce back by watching them.
Wow. Man, I love your energy. Every time I've hung out with you, what motivates you?
Nate, I just love people. My motto in life since I was 20 years old has been I want to leave people better than I find them. And that's it, right? That like I know that's very broad, but what I love about it is, what if the only interaction I get with somebody today is holding the door open for them at the gas station? And so you better bet I'm gonna smile really big at them, and I'm gonna say hi, and because that may be the most cheerful moment they have their whole day, right? Or I get the opportunity to coach someone. I get the opportunity to go deeper with somebody, but I always want somebody saying, "Man, I smile bigger when Kyle's in the room. I feel better about myself when Kyle's in the room. I'm glad I knew Kyle in that season." Right? That is my motivation is leaving people better than I find them. And it's what gets me excited to wake up every day.
I love it. Tell me how we're about out of time, and I promise I try to keep this about 30 minutes, but if someone's looking to partner up with you and grow their real estate business, how can they best get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'm Coach Kyle Draper on social media. You can go to kyledraper.com. You can go to highercultureva.com. But if you just go Google Kyle Draper, you're gonna find plenty of opportunities to connect with me.
All right, I'll put the backlinks. I'll get you linked up in here. Anybody's watching and listening on your favorite platform, those links will be somewhere connected to this video or audio. Kyle, thank you.
Yes,
Spending
sir.
time with us today. It's good seeing you again.
Nate, appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.